Jumping into, I'm sure you guys have mentioned for a long time, I kept on hearing Super Troopers 2, Super Troopers 2, and now it's finally really at the starting point. Talk a little bit about the legal hurdles, if you will, what it finally took to get to where we are right now.
Let's let Kevin, our lawyer. You know, Kevin is a lawyer in 2 states. So he handles all our legal stuff.
Speak it so that the lay person can understand.
I don't know that there are necessarily legal hurdles, right? But no, it's a long journey. It's a tough thing to get a movie made these days. And so now there's this new, you have this ability to go out and get grassroots involvement. And Super Troopers 2 was always a grassroots, or Super Troopers 1 was always a grassroots movie. And so it seemed to lend itself very well to this situation, I think, right?
Yes. Yes, but yeah.
You're launching an Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of cool perks that people.
Yeah.
So can you pitch 1 or 2 of them, and then where can people, and then obviously the link.
I mean, there will be the regular assortment of perks, you know, DVD,
T-shirts,
posters, the swag stuff. We're gonna have some cool stuff. Like we have one prize, which is that we will come and be the groomsmen at your wedding, or even the bridesmaids if you want to have us on that side of the thing.
I'm not wearing a fusia dress though.
You're not. You got to wear whatever the bride says. Whatever the bride says.
Whatever the bridezilla says.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's another one where you can meet us in Colorado, and we'll do something legal there with you.
Yeah. We have another one, which is that the winner, we will have a beer fest, and you will then get to have a beer fest in your town, and the winner of this gigantic beer fest gets to compete against us
and get crushed
and get destroyed.
By Team USA.
Destroyed.
Yeah, their ass is kicked by Team USA.
Yeah.
You get the right to lose. That's nice.
You win the right to lose.
I think a lot of people are wondering, you've had a decent amount of time to think about the idea for the film. How much has that idea changed throughout the development process, and do you have like a script that's completely locked down right now?
Yeah, we've written about 16 drafts of the script, and we settled on an idea a couple of years ago. I mean, you know, there was a point where we were going to set it in the 70s, and we were going to play our fathers. I mean, originally the film was meant to be sort of a Smokey and the Bandit style film. I mean, you know, tough and funny, and we thought about the 70s for a while, and then we just decided to set it, you know, in modern times.
You realize if you're gonna give the people what they want, give the people what they want.
Just give it to them.
So the space one's out. Super Troopers in Space is out.
Super Troopers in Space is
That's out.
That can be the third.
Okay.
The third point of the trilogy.
Okay.
That's when we've jumped the shark.
Super Troopers 2 Mars Landing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So does the film, because I did a little research before sitting down, I heard there was a little bit where it was going to take place a little bit ahead in time, and then I heard the sequel might start right from where the first one ended.
Yeah. The internet is a funny thing, Steve. It really is.
Exactly.
It really is. You know, I think somebody made a joke at some point, or we talked about making a prequel, and it was kind of joking, I think, but it kind of took off a little bit. That was the idea.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor mill started because we set it in motion, for sure.
It's our fault.
It is our fault. But we, you know, we wanted to, like somebody said, hey, you should set one. We actually did a draft of Super Troopers where it was set in the 70s.
Yeah,
we did.
One version of that.
The first movie.
The first movie, yeah. Hot rods and bigger mustaches.
Bigger mustaches, you know, bigger bushes.
Yeah. And so then we joked about getting back to that and playing our dads. But it was a joke.
Yeah.
And
no, this one picks up where we left off.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Not a minute after the first.
Not 1 minute.
A year after. A year after.
Well,
we all contracted lupus or something, which is why we all.
The only reason I ask is that there's the last movie you made like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So is there going to be some sort of like nod to the fact that everyone's aged a little more than a year, or?
Yeah.
Do you think how much older do you think we are?
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm going to say maybe 2 years older.
Okay.
Maybe 2-3 years older.
All right, so the new movie takes place 2 years in the future.
Are you happy? You happy?
You just decided our fate. By the way, that's part of the Indiegogo campaign. Is you can one of the prizes is you can name a town or a character after something near and dear to your heart.
What are you, just segueing? Random segue?
Dude, I'm the segue kid.
Let's talk a little bit about mustaches.
Yes.
And the importance of how long will it take people to grow back? Are they fake? What are you demanding? Maybe people aren't familiar.
There will be no fake mustaches in this movie.
No.
No fake mustaches.
Because
no
talk about
fake
FMS a little bit.
Yeah. Fake mustache syndrome, FMS.
Fake mustache syndrome is an unfortunate side effect when you wear a fake mustache. It's tough to smile because you don't want to break the glue. And so then
It's tough to eat something really chewy, too.
Yeah.
yeah, like
That's
Jay, for instance,
Taffy,
gets,
saltwater taffies.
Yeah, you can't do that.
yeah, and like the smile is gone from your eyes, all joy.
Right, yeah.
It's like you're wearing a choker.
So only real mustaches. But so I got to start like I
You
say
should
3
have
months
started
out.
by now. You should have started by now.
Because I only have like 12 hair holes in my lip.
Right.
So you'll have to get plugs.
I might have to get some plugs.
Yeah.
Do they do that? Mustache plugs?
Sure.
They do that now?
Permanent though.
Really?
Yeah.
It's permanent?
Yeah, permanent. There's a couple hairs sticking out.
Oh, okay.
Great new band, Mustache Plugs. Hot new indie.
Okay, mustache plugs.
Assuming that everything comes together the way you guys are envisioning it, is there a start date that you already have locked down? What can you tease people about stuff? That the way it's gonna and where you might be filming?
Yeah, the plan is to try to shoot this summer. That's the plan. So if all goes according to that plan, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah, but we need to raise the money.
Yeah.
And if the fans sort of jump in and join us, then yeah, we'll probably shoot sometime in July.
Yeah, the truth is, if we don't hit the minimum, there's no movie. So
And
we
no
have to-
mustaches.
And no mustaches.
And no mustaches.
Well, I'll grow a mustache anyway, and sit there over the summer sadly, and maybe take some selfies or something
And
like
people
that.
be like, is that mustache for Super Troopers 2?
Like it was. It is.
What happened? You didn't hit your goal?
We didn't.
People didn't want to see it?
They didn't.
Why do you shave then?
You should just shave it.
Go.
No.
Is this how people talk on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Those,
internet voice. Yeah.
those are the people who come up to you after you failed. That's who that is.
All right.
They knock on your door.
Yeah, but that's what we're learning about this process too, the Indiegogo process.
It's humbling.
It's it's a little nerve wracking. You have
Oh,
and in our case, it's also just as much about how many people actually sign up for it, because we're also trying to show the studio that there is an appetite for the movie, and they will go wider with the release if there are more people who contribute.
Kid segue.
What's up?
Kid talking point.
I was brought to the side before this meeting.
That's good. Better you than me.
You were given talking points?
By Kid Indiegogo. He said, this is what we want to get
You're
set.
like the Michelle Bachman of Broken Lizard.
It's true.
You
Yeah.
stick to talking points.
Stick to the script.
Yeah, stick to
Yeah.
the script.
And he's hot.
And he's hot.
Yeah.
Look crazy.
And you want to fuck me. By the way, I'm done with my talking points. I hit them all. I hit them all.
Good.
I hit them all.
Good.
One of the things I've really enjoyed, especially over the last number of years, is the people using Meow during live interviews.
Yeah. Great.
Right. So how much for you guys? How awesome has it been seeing people going right Meow? Or like I watched one recently with a hockey player who did it like 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what has it been like? People incorporating that, and do you get links like every week or?
It's definitely a blast. Like people, whenever it happens, we get inundated with emails of people doing it. And the funny thing is, I think we were talking about recently, there are some people who do it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? There's some people who do the Meow game wrong. I mean, essentially, we substitute the word now with meow.
That's how you do it correctly.
Right. But
There are people who will throw the meow in any old place that they choose. They'll,
Right.
They'll say, "Hey, meow."
Well, that's correct.
That
though.
could be
That could be
That's
correct.
correct.
Look meow at the window, or look at meow.
That sort of worked though.
It's,
I know.
look now,
I
it's
know.
harder to do wrong than
It's
is
harder
to
to do wrong.
It'll be like, look at meow the window.
Right.
Okay.
Look at.
And
look
sure.
out, meow.
it's really
the window.
clear. You just said meow. There's nothing hidden there.
That's
Yeah.
right. So we have to put a moratorium on the improper use
We have to
of
put-
the
we have
meow
to
game.
stop it?
Yeah. Let's get it right.
Well, there's no such thing as bad press, Kev.
You're right.
I think there is.
Is there?
When someone says something really bad about you and then other people read it,
Oh, that is
That's
That's
right.
bad press.
That's bad press.
Bad.
That's
that
right.
is bad press.
Yeah.
We like there was one recently done by Gio Gonzalez of the Nationals.
Yeah.
I think he hit like 12 or 13 meows.
Yeah.
And Eric Decoux, when he was on
killed
the
it.
Falcons, did one on ESPN. It's always fun to see the reactions of the people interviewing them. In the Nats case, the guy actually ended the interview and then threw his own meow back to
Yeah.
you meow.
But then the guy he threw it up to didn't know.
No.
He didn't know the meow game because he was like, I think there was some sort of bet where he was winning $100 every time he could say the word meow.
Well, no, that's
Something
like when it gets done. Then the beauty of it is finding people who just don't understand what the hell's going
That's
on, which
great.
was the beauty of it in the first place.
That's
Because it was
great.
always intended to be this thing where you either think it's funny, or you have no clue what the fuck is going on, and it makes no sense, and it couldn't possibly be funny. And so it's always a great reminder that for everybody who enjoys it, there's somebody who's like, what in the fuck are they talking about?
Well, so speaking of that, one of my favorite meows was we got sent something from Iraq, which was there was like a checkpoint, a security checkpoint, and the troops were doing the Meow Game to the people that they pulled over. But I had mixed feelings about it because I was like, it's hilarious, but like those people have no idea what the meow is. So like it's just between the soldiers themselves.
Right. It's wasted on the recipient when that person does not speak your language.
All the viewers were enjoying it.
Sure.
The YouTube videos.
Yeah.
No, I was in an airport recently, and the flight attendant guy who was calling the boarding announcements was doing meow, and I was like, oh, that's cute, that's funny. And then I go, and it's my turn, I hand the guy my boarding pass. He's like, oh my god, oh my god. And I was like, why are you freaking? He's like, I was just doing that. I was like, you weren't doing that because you saw me? He's like, no, that's just what I do. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
The opening joke of Super Troopers is great, and I'm sure you've heard that from a lot of people. Like, what is the? Have you written something on that sort of? What can you tease people about some of the what's coming jokes?
Sure.
What can you tease?
That was the hard thing. I mean, we knew that in writing this new script, everyone loves that opening scene so much that we had to come up with something that we think rivals that, and so that was a big hurdle. Like, we worked hard on trying to do that. I think we did.
We have something.
I think we did. Don't you guys think?
You really love the opening, yeah.
Yeah, we can't give anything away.
It's a tough balance to give anything away, though. You don't want to give anything away.
But we're loving our opening scene. I will say that. I will say that.
Yeah.
Talk a little about. I believe Fox is signed on to distribute the film.
Yeah.
So what was it like negotiating with the studio, and was it sort of like? Do you know what I mean? Like how involved will they be in this campaign, assuming the film goes?
Well, yeah, they've agreed to release it for us. So it's the same team of people who released Super Troopers 1. And so, basically what we have to do is come up with all the money. But they'll be involved in certain, they've given us some notes, and they're certainly going to, create the whole campaign and the trailers and all that stuff. So they'll be very deeply involved. Yeah.
And it's kind of a nice thing. Like, usually if you're raising money for a film, you don't have distribution for that film. So, we're hoping it works in our favor. If somebody's contributing to the movie, it's not like, I'm contributing to a movie and maybe it gets made and then just sits on a shelf or whatever. This is a case where if somebody's contributing to the movie, that movie gets made, it's gonna be released. So
yeah, but that goes back to the talking point that I was making before, which is that it very much is the more people who contribute, the more they will see that there's an appetite for it. I think they're they just want to see that people want it all over the country.
I know you guys have talked a little bit about doing a Kickstarter, Indiegogo campaign. Like it's been, you guys have mentioned it a number of months ago.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, and so I guess what has been the reaction that you've heard thus far from fans? Do you know what I mean? Like, how much have you been like, people have said to you, yeah, this is something I'm really interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a unique situation because like the reality is the fans out there, the people out there just really want to see the movie, and I think they want to see the movie however we can get the movie made, And so I think that people are supportive of however we can do it. Now this is a nice situation because people can get involved sometime. We can come to your town. We can, call you and do a FaceTime with you or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I think it's a fun thing for the fans, but I think the fans just want the movie however we can get it to them.
And this campaign, we're the first film to have we have a partnership with Fandango, right? So you can donate to the film. We can use the money to make the film, and you can have a ticket to your local theater on the opening week. So it's not, it's almost just like pre-buying a ticket to the movie. Mm-hmm. You're going to pay more because we need the extra money to make the movie, but you can get a ticket. You can get, it's a little more direct.
Sure.
I actually didn't know this, and that's, I think, one of the complaints with a lot of the, like Veronica Mars and some of the others. You were paying to get the movie, but you couldn't see it in a theater. Like, there was, some people were saying that. That's definitely a good talking point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's cool. He's good.
He throws out all the talking points, and then this guy gets the slams at home.
I'm going to build on that, though.
Right, okay.
But this is the nice thing about it. It's like, if you've ever gone to a movie and thought to yourself, like, what would really make this scene great is a Stinger missile right here. your money actually goes to getting a Stinger missile into the movie.
I paid for. You see that Stinger missile? I paid for that.
That's what it is, because you're paying to go see the movie in the theater, but because you give us the money now, it actually goes towards the budget, and we can put
We
Stinger
should
missiles.
think about people being able to name the Stinger missiles. Like, that's Jim's Stinger missile. Because Jim gave the money, and so it's Jim's missile.
Sounds like you're giving away the fact that there's a Stinger missile.
Oh, oh.
Yeah. Well,
Is there a Stinger missile?
I'm just going to say this right now. There could be a Stinger missile.
Those are expensive, though. I mean, we need some real money to get a Stinger
Each
missile.
one is costs $1 million.
Wow.
Little known fact.
Wow.
That's so much of that is government pork, though. When you-
Right.
That's true.
But we're going to end up spending all our money on Stinger missiles.
Go steal one.
Well, only if we raise enough money.
I see.
There's a
I
threshold.
see.
It becomes a Stinger threshold.
I see.
We hit that.
But
that
let's
mark.
use the first part of the money to actually make a movie, and then we'll add this.
Correct.
Let's not buy the Stinger
Correct.
missile first.
Correct. Let's make the movie.
That's bad budgeting.
That's all I've
That's
been
just bad
saying.
budgeting.
I see.
That's all I've been
I see.
saying.
That's your whole point.
I was talking before we sat down, and I guess one of the perks, which I think is fucking awesome, is I want to say it's 35,000, I think, but I could be wrong, where you get the car
Yeah.
from the movie.
Right.
That's amazing. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah, so far we're offering one car, but I'd like to think that we're going to have more than one car in the movie. So I know
We'll
that.
see.
The sequel is Five Guys, One Car. That's the
Yeah.
Five guys, one car.
Yeah, and it gets nasty.
Oh, it gets stanky in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I think, that winner is in for a real delight because we got to drive the cars in the first movie.
Yeah.
And as a civilian, driving a cop car on the road is a pretty powerful feeling.
People get out of your way.
Yeah.
So you're trying to say the movie Let's Be Cops was influenced by what you guys really did?
Well,
nothing
we
like
did do that, and that was a Fox movie as well. Is that correct?
Eric had a fun experience. He pulled somebody over.
Well, I was driving on the freeway and I was going 55 and I saw people flying by me and I felt like I was, not being respected or having the power. So I flipped on the lights and then I tried to see if people would go behind me. But I didn't realize I was in New York, but I had a Vermont car and Vermont plates. And
New Yorkers are too savvy to fall for
Yeah.
it.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Vermont? Come on.
Really
Screw this guy.
Fuck you, you got no
car.
jurisdiction.
Vermont,
People didn't
come on.
pull over?
They didn't. They looked for a second, then they just speed past me. And then there was a knock on the hotel door that I was impersonating a police officer.
The real
And
cops.
where were you
Awful.
hiding?
I was hiding under the bed. True story.
All this can be yours.
Yeah, and the cops came and talked to me, and I'm sure he's looking at our shoes like, if you find the guy, tell him not to do that anymore. I'm like, well, absolutely, sir.
Holding my breath.
One of the things listen, the movie has developed a big following over the years since it's been out. I would imagine there's a lot of fans. Is there any talk about getting friends to cameo in the movie?
Friends like actors?
Yeah, like, actors or guest
My neighbor
appearances.
friends.
Yeah. Do you want to be in the movie? You can.
I cannot act to save my life, but I'm sure that the people who donate money would love to be in the movie.
I think there is one of those, isn't there?
There are a
you get a
couple
line
prizes.
in the movie if you pay enough money.
Yeah, there is one of those. But no, I think there are a lot of people in the industry who are fans of the movie, and we've written opportunities to have cameos into the movie. And I think once we get the finances secured and all that kind of stuff, then we'll reach out to people and see. And we'll definitely have cameos of other people in the industry.
Yeah, and they may be our friends, but you still have to pay them. And that is
That's
just
true.
the
You do have to
reality
pay
of Hollywood. Yeah.
Talking point.
Exactly. I asked you earlier, but you didn't answer. Is there a plan of filming in California, or are you going to go somewhere with a more advantageous tax break?
We're gonna shoot it somewhere in the Northeast, possibly Massachusetts.
I've heard that that's
Possibly
that's
New
in the
York.
air.
I was going to say Boston has a very good tax break.
Yeah.
I know they did
Yeah.
the equalizer.
But I think it's expiring.
Massachusetts
Yeah.
is,
Maybe New York, maybe Minnesota.
Yeah. So I think we'll just go wherever we're most wanted.
Whatever looks like Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to look like Vermont.
Vermont-esque.
Yeah.
and was Vermont test.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to touch on a few other things real quick, which are not super too. But what's the story with some of the other things you guys have been developing, like Ambulance Chasers or the Potfest? Was that even real, or was that not?
Potfest started as a joke, completely a way to end the first one. But there have been so many requests from people like Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent and Michael Phelps and Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we've written like 60 pages of it. I think if this one goes off well, then I think we'll try to get to that one next.
And Ambulance Chasers.
Ambulance Chasers was a film that we were producing at one point, but that there's nothing going on with that.
I understand. What is my last thing for you guys? What has been the thing as you studied other people doing Kickstarter, Indiegogo? Was there anything that you learned from their campaigns that you wanted to mimic, or just straight up avoid?
I thought that Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk just are doing a great Indiegogo case. I thought their video was so poppy and fun and entertaining. And see that one?
Yeah, I did.
It's charming.
Yeah, I gave.
Me too.
Gave too.
Yeah, me too.
I love
It's
those guys.
a way for fans to be able to see the product. It's cool.
Yeah.
I also love the idea that you get a ticket to the movie. To me, I thought that was important.
But we're the first ones, so you're not really mimicking anybody. Somebody will be mimicking.
That's something that you wanted to learn. Yeah. You learned that. Yeah.
I see. You learned from another campaign that you wanted to give people a ticket.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was cool that we learned from other campaigns is that you can add prizes as the campaign goes along, which is something I think we're probably going to do.
Yeah.
Add some prizes.
I heard you might have some posters or T-shirts.
Definitely, we're going to have T-shirts, posters, autographed posters if you want, personalized posters.
Limited
if
edition
you're willing.
T-shirts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Cool T-shirts. I've seen
cool
them.
artists are making limited edition T-shirts.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all sorts of unique prizes. We might do a stand-up show. I think we're offering a stand-up show. We have one prize, which is coming to hang out with us at an Angels game in a luxury box.
If you like baseball.
If you don't, there's probably snacks.
There are snacks.
I don't like snacks.
Mm-hmm. But who watches baseball games? Who watches the actual game in the luxury box? You just go to the luxury box to hang out.
I was going to say, if you go to the luxury box, it's pretty much just to get fucked up.
Yeah,
and
with
just
us.
eat.
Yeah.
Eat,
And that's what we'll do.
laugh.
That's what we'll do.
It's good jokes.
Yeah.
That's luxury to have.
I really like. I have to say though, I think the car and you guys being bridesmaids or
a line. I mean, a lot of people have been asking about being in the movie.
Yeah.
And so there's an opportunity to be in the movie.
It won't just be standing in a crowd, right?
Yeah. There's a
Hucking something at your head.
somebody may throw something at one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will impact the movie. You will impact the narrative if you get involved. You won't just be, facing the crowd.
Right.
with something like
it'd be a face in the crowd, but
Who impacts the narrative?
right, who impacts the narrative?
with something like that though, is it just like one person that can do this, or if there's enough demand, you know what I mean?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
There's only so many lines to go around. I need
Yeah.
my lines.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you don't want to turn over the entire film to these people.
Right.
Right.
What if they can't act?
Like if they pay enough money, could they play your part, for example? I think
Yeah, but I'm not a good actor. That's an easy sub to make.
But if they want to give like Stinger missile money, you'd step aside,
I'd
right?
step aside.
Yeah.
I'd step aside.
So-
What if a non-Indian fellow wanted to play your part?
I'm not racist.
How would you know? But I mean, in terms of just keeping with like if somebody blurs their eyes, they could still say, "Oh, that's Thorny." Versus,
I see. Like someone who's like Latvian or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
Pakistani.
Yeah. Nah, it wouldn't work.
Would you want to then swap one of these guys out for a man of color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you.
It's like Journey.
Yeah.
When Steve Perry left and the Asian lead
Little
singer took over.
Filipino
You get a Filipino guy.
Yeah.
Sure, we can get a Filipino guy.
Saw him at Hollywood Bowl. Like I can belt.
He can sing.
He can?
Oh yeah.
And sounds
Close your eyes,
exhausted.
Like Steve Perry.
Close
yeah.
your eyes, son.
You have to close your eyes though, because it's a
Really?
little silly. Yeah.
Does he dance?
He does everything.
Does he speak to the crowd?
Yes.
I heard he
You can barely
can't speak
understand.
English. Okay.
I really sincerely mean this. I really hope this thing comes together. I would really like to see this movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank
would
you.
we.
Yeah, we want to say it too.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me your time. Good luck with everything.